Hey everyone, today I'm going to compare Lifeforce to 10x so you can see which one might be better suited to your needs. So just right off the bat, you can see that Lifeforce is designed to give you a membership-based package. So you start with your blood draw. Now the cool thing about this is the blood draw can be scheduled at a lab or in your home, contingent on the state in which you live. There are a few states that require it to be done in a lab. I believe New York and New Jersey are among them. But other states let you schedule it in your home, which is very convenient. It takes about 1 week to get results, and those results have to do with around 50 biomarkers. Once you get those results, you meet with a clinician, and then they customize your plan and schedule things for you to do based on your findings. So the biomarkers you have will indicate things like hormones that may or may not be at optimum levels. You can work with their coaching service, and they will monitor your progress over the span of however long you keep that membership. So the membership is around $149 per month, but they do test your blood every 3 months. So you can verify how well your lifestyle changes or supplements or anything else has worked to change your measurements from that baseline that you take initially. Over here, we have the 10x health system. 10x is broken down into a few services. So you have genetic testing, blood testing, and IV services. So the blood test doesn't actually specify whether it is in person or at a lab. And I've looked over all of this and you can't really find anything about it. It doesn't tell you how much it costs either, nor do you figure out how long it's going to take. Instead, it says your blood test looks at 70 biomarkers, which is a bit more than the number of biomarkers you have here with Lifeforce. And then you get a personalized blood report with a one-on-one call. However, that one-on-one call is with a wellness advisor. There is no standardization for wellness advisor. That could be anyone. I could be your wellness advisor. Anyone could be, your mom could be your wellness advisor if that's who you call when you're feeling sick. So I will say that I don't like that compared to what you get here. So when you get your life score, you have a clinician, board certified longevity medicine clinician. So board certified, that's a term I really appreciate when it comes to my health and wellness. So a big difference obviously is not just what tests are offered, but the fact that, one is clearly more qualified than the other. And then after that, phase 3 is, everything is branded here, time to 10x. So it's a 10-week program to help you get into the best shape of your life. Now, I am not a board certified longevity medicine clinician, but I can tell you based on my experience, 10 weeks is not long enough to get into the best shape of your life. There's a reason that my Lifeforce offers a membership. A lot of these changes take time. You can start with supplements. You can start with new exercise routines, solutions based on your hormone panel or your cardiac risk, working with weight loss. But the average person in a healthy capacity only loses around 3 pounds per week, no more than 5 pounds per week, not using cheat methods like GLP-1 injections, using regular dietary and exercise changes. So if you are significantly overweight or you have a lot of pre-existing conditions, I promise you 10 weeks is not going to get you there. 10 weeks is enough for you to see real changes. And it's almost long enough for people around you to see those changes too. Now, that's not to say that you can't make significant progress in 10 weeks, but that's just not enough. And moreover, changes that you make based on the markers for things like glucose control or hormones, those are long-term lifestyle changes. They're not just, we do it for 10 weeks and then we go back to how we are. So other services offered are the genetic testing services and the IV services. The IV services are exactly what you think. They are IV infusions. They offer 3 different customizations to help with, hangovers and energy boosts, the kind of things that are only available in big party hotspots like Miami and Vegas, which in fact they are for 10X. The IV service is only available in, I believe, 4 locations. You can see here Miami, Naples, Scottsdale, Las Vegas, and Beverly Hills. So I was spot on there. Genetic testing. You can order your genetic test, and you're seeing, I can't be the only one who's noticing this. When you're looking at this, you're not really seeing anything about why this genetic test is better. You're seeing a lot of those like 2015 era mid-level marketing things where this page just keeps scrolling, and then there's not a lot of contact information here. It's pretty generic. I was able to, because this, you have to put in your information for the most part to get a lot of the details on IV infusions and blood draws. For genetic tests and supplements, you can find those in this area, the shop area. So one test that looks at your DNA here, and this is what you get. You get a report and you get recommendations for lifestyle changes and supplements. It is $600. You can see that these supplements come at an extra cost. They're not bad. There's nothing wrong with these. These are pretty common supplements that people take, but you can also just find those at Walmart. You can, according to their website, get customized supplements, but I don't think that means they make a mixture for you. I think it just means they say, hey, you want our 10X magnesium and you need our sleep formula. If you're getting the precision genetic test, which is a higher tier of genetic testing, it is $1,300, and that tests apparently 700 trillion different possible outcomes for your genes. With a 400-page precision genetic analysis, I promise you that 400-page is a template that is only moderately altered based on your findings. There is no way they are giving you 400 pages of brand new information only based on you. And again, tips on how to change your weight management, how to change your food habits, and access to supplements and IV drips, of course, contingent upon where you live. So those are the price points there. Over here, again, it's going to work with this one-off blood draw for your initial information, and then ongoing biomarkers. You can see that they measure a lot more biomarkers. It is $150 per month, and that gets you 4 tests per year. So instead of just one genetic test, you get regular tests. You get that one-on-one appointment with a board-certified clinician, very important, with a health plan, access to a health coach, and then their full dashboard that gives you health tracking. They too have supplements that might be recommended as part of your findings, and you get 30% off if you have that membership. So there's nothing wrong with upselling supplements. That's a pretty common thing. They also have access to members-only pharmaceuticals. Those are really based on the hormone panel. If for some reason they find that there are issues where you might need support for hormone therapy, you can get prescriptions. So other than that, you're looking at a pretty affordable option if you are looking for long-term support. Now, you can easily pay for your membership, get that solution, get that test for all of these different areas, and then not use the membership for an ongoing basis. You can just have the blood draw. You can work with them for just a few months until you have your plan up and running, approximately the same time frame as you would get with precision testing over here. They do have military discounts. A lot more information here on medical notice of privacy, medical patient agreement. I like seeing these words. Pharmacy information, very important. If you are back here at the 10X system, not really seeing anything about pharmacies or other health-based information, the privacy letters and agreements that I would expect from a real doctor. So that said, they do basically offer different things, right? Over here with 10X, you have genetic testing. Here, you're just looking at these key biomarkers. So if you're looking for a full genetic test kit and you want to see how your genes respond or which genes you have activated, that is a great opportunity to do a deep dive into the way your genetics work. It is not an ongoing service. It's a one-off service. You can, however, continue to pay for blood draws and IV services if you are in one of those major party areas, and then, of course, buy supplements from them. Comparatively, if you want information on your overall health with an active dashboard and a customized plan, Lifeforce is going to offer all of that. It's not the same type of genetic test kit, but arguably it's a much more comprehensive option that looks at all areas of your life and how you can have overall wellness and work with someone on a regular basis to improve things like hormone balance, cardiac risk, and other biomarkers.